This is me, Spoon Beast.
Holy goodness, that time of year again already. Time to get some pre-event thoughts on the Electronic Entertainment Expo of 2014, which means that a week from now, I'll be covering all the major highlights from this event. Crazy how the time can just fly by. I thought it came up pretty quick last year. Well, this year it just flashed forward. I mean, I really am stunned that we're in the month of June already. And I'll be covering E3 in just a mere week. Now, with all that off my chest, let's take a look at what we have in store for us in just 1 week's time. Well, on day 0, which is apparently just a press conference day for E3, Sony, Microsoft, Ubisoft, and EA will all be holding their official press conferences throughout the course of the day on June 9th, which, as I stated, is a day before E3 officially starts. The same thing occurred last year, and I assume it's to save room for the developing companies to show their software off on the official days of the event, but again, I'm not speaking for certain on this. Obviously, for this day, I'm only really excited for what Sony may surprise fans with. Microsoft has their usual crowd pleasers pre-announced, the Halo 5s, Fable Legends, Killer Instincts, etc. Practically game showcasing for the Xbox One console, and maybe they can hope to impress in that regard as much as they did last year, though I really don't care much at all. Ubisoft is showing off Assassin's Creed Unity and Far Cry 4, as well as a few other titles. Same goes for EA, who are showcasing off their core sports titles like the NHLs, FIFAs, UFCs, as well as Mirror's Edge 2, which is pretty cool to know that that game will be getting a sequel. Star Wars Battlefront and the Battlefield franchises will also have their latest games showcased as well. Sony has very few games listed to be shown off at E3. The only really relevant one to bring up is Uncharted 4, so I'm hoping there's a few surprises that may come along with the press conference. There's been a lot of hinting at Crash Bandicoot lately from Sony themselves, and even though all the hints have been extremely subtle, they are subliminal enough in quality that they've piqued my interest as of late, as well as the interest of many fans who enjoyed the series back in its prime. So if they do reveal plans to revive that franchise, and they have bought the rights from Activision to use him yet again for the PlayStation 4, I am all for a Crash comeback, and I'm sure many of you would like to see that as well. The first official day of E3 2014, which is the following day of June the 10th, Nintendo will be hosting its, quote, digital event starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time, that's 12 o'clock p.m. for Eastern Standard. As for what that event will detail, stream, and reveal is anybody's guess. Super Smash Bros. 4 is set to have a pretty big presence, as it's one of the games listed for showcase, as well as an official tournament or invitational event that will take place on the game's floor of E3, as well as demos that will be playable at all the local Best Buy outlets in the United States. You lucky gamers, you. As for the other games that Nintendo have pegged to make some sort of appearance are as follows. X, which is an RPG being developed by the same team behind the Xeno series of games for Nintendo. I believe it's actually a part of that series as well. They previously announced Hyrule Warriors that all you should be familiar with by now. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which are essentially just 3DS remakes of the Game Boy Advance games, Ruby and Sapphire. And last, but certainly not least, there is an announcement of them formally announcing their newest console Zelda title for the Wii U. Now, what comes with such a huge announcement like that remains to be seen, but all we know is that the Wii U could use a lot of big announcements regarding its future titles, and its own official Legend of Zelda game would certainly be a start. I say there's also a good plenty of room to show some surprise titles as well. I would personally love to see a new IP from Nintendo that looks unique, fun, and must-have for the Wii U. I think the console could really benefit from getting something like that. Though, I'd also just love to see Metroid resurface as well. And I'm sure all of you assumed I can't just finish the pre-E3 Nintendo talk without mentioning a little Smash hype. With all the recent information they gave us during the Smash Bros. Direct 2 months ago, and with the whole tournament thing taking place, I really don't know what more you could do that's E3 huge. Obviously, a new character reveal or two would be the best way to go, but who exactly would they unveil? There are such a wide variety of characters that are likely for the game who they could show off. Likely newcomers like Chrome, Palutena, and even Shulk would make for some nice bets. Maybe even a final third-party character could have their groundbreaking debut on this particular day. Like a Pac-Man, for instance, if Namco is even getting a character inclusion of their own at all. Maybe Mewtwo makes his long-awaited return, despite the fact that the Pokemon roster is already stacked at 4, and we all know that Jigglypuff will be back on her way. So many different characters equals so many different possibilities. And personally, I can't wait to see what last reveals Sakurai and his team may have for us before the 3DS launch this summer. The rest of the days are being occupied by various different companies to show their software, reveal demos, and maybe even some trailers to brand new content. That's what companies such as Sega, Namco, Atlas, Bethesda, Crytek, Square Enix, etc. will all be doing on the 11th and 12th of June. If you're wondering if I'm looking forward to anything specific from these days that's not Nintendo related, my answer is yes, actually. I hope we get some more information on a Square Enix title that was just revealed to be in development at last year's event. That, of course, being Kingdom Hearts 3. We got 2 bare-bones teaser trailers during the course of the last year, and the second one they showed in the fall I really thought was unnecessary. Hopefully, with over a year of development behind this game, we may see exactly what kind of worlds, bosses, and various different characters and such that Sora and company will interact with come their future PS4 quest. And their last one at that. The world I'm really holding out for is Toy Story, and since Pixar is a property of Disney now and has been for many years, I'm hoping they have a decent presence in what comes to the actual world selections for the new game. If they don't even get one at all, then I will be disappointed. As for any other major things I'd like to see, some more combat and watching how the party system's gonna work would more than suffice for me. Though, I'm not gonna lie, I dig to see Frozen get some KH lovin'. Just saying. As always, guys, it'd be greatly appreciated if you were to follow me on the Facebooks, Twitters, and Instagrams of the world. These social media outlets are always a great way of staying connected to me in between all of my YouTube activity. Also, do feel free to drop a comment on this video, discuss your opinions of E3, what you want to see from the event, what you're excited for, all that great jazz, you know. Even on my channel, you can discuss it with anything E3 with me. You can discuss anything on my channel. Post along, have great conversations about gaming, discuss anything, really. You can even add me on Skype and discuss all those same things and request a few ideas with me. We can even talk E3 a week before it happens. Let's do this. Tweet me before it happens. Yes, I'm going to plug the Twitter and the Skype. Great ways to stay connected to me. I want to see you all on Twitter, tweeting me, or on Skype, Skyping me, and let's talk E3. Let's go beyond YouTube, people. Beyond YouTube. It's always great, and I preach this every week. Let's start having it happen. On that note, I'm a frequent co-host of the I Got Gameplay podcast for the RetroUnlim.com website. It airs live every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you all there, and you have a good one, folks. I'll see you next week for E3 2014 coverage. See you later.